of food with them, so that whenever they went someplace, they would always have their own food because they were not allowed to buy food from the Gentiles. That was a definite no-no. Can't do that. Can't ask any favors of the Gentiles. No, that doesn't work. So they had these little baskets. Well, that's why they ran out of food, because whoever had the baskets really ran out of food too quickly, except the little boy. Now, I find that fascinating because I preach to a lot of groups of people, and most of the people fall asleep. But this young boy had a lunch to eat, but he was so fascinated by what Jesus was talking about, he didn't fall asleep. He didn't eat his lunch either. That's why there were 5 loaves and 2 fishes. He was absolutely fascinated with what Jesus was talking about there. Now that would have been really something to see, I think. So we go on from there and we listen to another instance. Jesus left from there. He went to the area of Tyre and Sidon. Now Tyre and Sidon were not in the Jewish realm. They were in the Gentile realm. Syrophoenicia, these people were, well, as far as the Jews were concerned, they were dogs. And I mean, ugly dogs, the dogs that lap up things, they're just ugly dogs. Not pets, okay? They were dogs. And so Jesus, as you remember, he met the Syrophoenician woman, whose daughter was taken, she was devil-possessed, and the woman talked to him and asked, "Can you please heal my daughter of this demon possession?" And Jesus said, "No, it's not good to give the food to the dogs." And she said, "Yes, that's true, Lord, but even the dogs lick the crumbs out from underneath the master's table." And you find out that the word for dogs there's 2 different dogs. One, dogs, is like a pet. And that's what he used towards her, that the dogs, you don't want to give them to dogs. And she caught that differentiation between what the Jews usually called the Gentiles, your dogs. It was a pet dog, not a outside, ugly, scroungy, run around and eat garbage type dog. And she caught that. And when you read Desire of Ages, she also mentions that she saw his face. He was trying to teach his disciples a lesson. They didn't like the Jews, but he said, "I came to save who? Just the Jews or to save the world?" He came to save the world. Therefore, if he came to save the world, that means that the Gentiles, the Syrophoenicians, the people that lived in Tyre and Sidon, all of them were under his umbrella to save. So therefore, I'm trying to save her, guys. Get it across to your thick skulls. I know you're steeped in Jewish tradition and you don't want to go there, but trust me, this is what my mission is. It's to them too, okay? They didn't get it. So finally the woman said, "Well, yeah, the dogs lick the crumbs out from underneath the table." And Jesus said, "Great is your faith, woman. Be it unto you as you have asked." And her daughter was cured of the devil possession. Yeah. Jesus is so powerful, he doesn't even have to be there to cast out devils. Did you notice that? Yeah. He said, "It's done." And it was gone. Now that I thought was amazing. So here he finishes this up. And he starts heading back down from Tyre and Sidon, and he starts heading back towards Bethsaida. And on his way down, he has to pass through an area where he had remembered the disciples crossed the lake, and Peter was walking on the water, and Jesus takes him up, and then he calms the sea, and they were going like, "Wow, this is amazing. This guy, even the winds and waves obey him." And they got to the shore, and even a greater scare was on the shore because 2 demoniacs come out from the tombs and start screaming and yelling and hollering. And of course the disciples, being the brave men that they aren't, they headed back to the boat, only to turn around and see that Jesus was still standing on the shore. Well, at the end of that, he cures these 2 demoniacs of these demons, casts them out, and they ask him, "Can we go with you?" And he said, "No, I want you to go back to your homes and tell what great things the Lord has done for you. Tell your families, tell your friends." Well, these guys, as we talked about a few weeks back, they had a wonderful missionary tour that went through Decapolis. Decapolis means 10 towns, and that's what it was. It was just basically 10 towns in that area, and they had gone throughout the towns. Well, when word got around that Jesus was on his way down, and he was going to be doing some healing and speaking to the people all gathered up. And they went together, and this wasn't an impromptu get-together. This was something that was planned. We're going to meet at this spot, and we're going to sit down, and we're going to have meetings.